Hello there. Welcome to your English class. My name is Catherine Ball, and I am about to show you how to set a Word document in MLA format. We will use MLA for many of our assignments in this class, and the first step to learning MLA is to learn how to set our Word document up as, well, MLA. Before we begin typing our paper, we need to set 4 things: margins, spacing, font, and page numbers. It does not matter the order in which we set these 4 things. We will go ahead and tackle the margins first. MLA requires 1-inch margins on all 4 sides of the page, and that is the default in Word. However, it is a good idea to double-check that your document is using Word's defaults. To check the margins, go to the Layout tab, and click Margins. Check that the colored square is around the option that shows a 1-inch margin on all 4 sides of the page. If the square is on a different option, simply click the option that you need. Next, we will tackle spacing. There are a few ways to change spacing in Word, but the most efficient way is to return to the Home tab and then enter the Paragraph menu by clicking what looks like an angle with an arrow coming out of it. In the menu that pops up, go down to the Spacing section and make sure that both the before and the after are set to 0. If you skip this step, Word puts extra space in the document whenever you hit the Enter key. Not only does this create an ugly document, but it also pads the length of the document, which matters when an assignment has a length requirement. Under Line Spacing, select Double. And then for extra measure, put a check in this box next to the statement, "Don't add space between paragraphs of the same style." When you are done, click OK. Third, we will tackle the font. Technically, MLA does not specify a certain font, but I and most, if not all, of the English instructors here want you to use Times New Roman 12. The reason for this is quite simply that Times New Roman 12 is the standard academic font, so you need to get used to using it. So to get Times New Roman 12, I'm going to stay here on the Home tab, and I come to the Font menu, right here. And here I can see the current font. All I need to do is to click on the arrow beside the font name, go down in the alphabetical list until I find Times New Roman 12, and then come to the arrow here next to the font size, which is currently 11. Click that arrow and change that to 12. Finally, we will tackle the page numbers. Go to the Insert tab and select Page Number. Do not select Header. While your page numbers do go in the header section of the document, the header menu does not let you pick page numbers that will change as you type your document. If you put a 1 in the header menu, you are telling Word that you want a 1 on every page of your document. Therefore, go into Page Number, select Top of Page, and choose Plain Number 3. You will see that Word has automatically put the cursor in the header section in front of the page number. Without moving the cursor, type your last name. For this example, I will pretend my name is Elizabeth Jones. I will type Jones in front of the page number, hit the space bar 1 time, and then click Close Header and Footer. And that's it. Our document settings are now what we need for an MLA document. Once those 4 things are done, we can start typing. The first thing we want to type is what I tend to call the identification section. Check that your cursor is still on the top line of the page. Type your name and then hit the Enter key. Remember, I am pretending to be Elizabeth Jones, so I will type that and then hit the Enter key 1 time. On the second line, type your instructor's name. Ask your instructor how he or she wants you to put his or her name. If you happen to be in my class, I'm fine with Ms. Ball. On the third line, type the class. This video will be used in many English classes, so type the correct number for your class. For this example, I'm just going to go with English 111. Notice I wrote out English instead of just putting ENG or ING. When you look at the sample papers in the MLA handbook, the full class name is usually written out, so let's go with that. On the fourth line, type the due date of the assignment. I am going to choose some random date, let's say 19 of February, 2024. The way I have typed the date here might look a little strange to some of you, but this is the way that MLA prefers for us to write the date. Notice when I use this format of day, month, year, I do not need a comma. If this just seems too unusual to you and your instructor allows it, you can probably get away with putting February 19th, 2024 on your paper, but you need to check with your instructor about that first. Notice that in either format, the date is written out in full. I did not abbreviate the month. The reason I did not abbreviate the class or the month is quite simply that you are creating a formal document. And formal documents generally try to avoid too many abbreviations, especially this early in the paper. Once the date is in place, it is time to type the title. Hit the Enter key one time and type out your title. For the record, I have never been, nor do I ever intend to go, skydiving. The title at its most basic should give the topic of the paper. It should not be the name of the assignment or something really generic such as paper number 1. Once the title is typed, center it, and then hit the Enter key and go back to the left margin so that your entire paper does not end up being centered. Now, a few words about titles. Notice the capitalization of my title. It is capitalized correctly according to MLA format. This video is going to be long enough already, so I don't want to go into the rules of capitalization here. Please check the MLA section of a writer's reference for how to capitalize titles. Also notice the only thing I did to my title was capitalize it correctly and center it. I didn't underline it, I didn't bold it, I didn't enlarge it, I didn't put it in quotation marks, I didn't make it a different color, I didn't put blinking lights around it. I didn't do any of that. You don't need to do any of that. MLA doesn't want any of that. All of that extra stuff is in fact considered to be an error. Just capitalize and center. That's all you need to do. One final point about titles. Notice this title is in fact a sentence. Skydiving is fun. I have a lot of papers turned into me where the title will be a sentence and at the end will be a period. I understand this is a sentence and you want to put a period at the end of it, but this is in fact incorrect because above and beyond all else, this is a title and we do not put periods after titles. So no periods here. Now, you can use an exclamation point or a question mark if you want to convey excitement like skydiving is fun, or confusion like skydiving is fun. You can certainly do that. So question marks and exclamation points are acceptable after a title, but periods are not. So I am now ready to start writing my first paragraph. The first paragraph and all paragraphs in the document need to be indented 1/2 inch from the left margin. The easiest way to get that 1/2 inch indent is to hit the Tab key one time. An indent of 1/2 inch is the default in Word, so that is what you should get. One way to gauge whether your Tab key is set correctly is to look at the text above, or perhaps below if you have some, where you just hit that Tab key. One Tab key press is about 5 or 6 characters of type. Okay, so about that is 1/2 inch. So if you look up above the blinking cursor where I have the date, you'll see that the cursor is blinking about 5 or 6 characters beneath the date. So this Tab key press is fine. If you notice your Tab key press is sending you over too far or not sending you over far enough, then you need to set your defaults again. So like I said, hit the Tab key one time and you are now ready to start typing. you're good to go. That's it. You are now ready to set your own documents in MLA format.